In July 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, a woman known as Frau Troffea stepped into the street and began to dance. There was no music. Her face showed no joy. She danced through the day and into the night, collapsed for a few hours, then rose and danced again. Within a week, 36 people had joined her. Within a month, 400. And then they started dying. This is the dancing plague, and 500 years later, it still has no certain explanation. The chronicles agree on how it began. One woman, alone, dancing in silence between the timbered houses for 4 days, perhaps 6. Her feet bled. Her husband begged her to stop. She seemed unable to hear him. Neighbors gathered to gawk, then to laugh, and then one by one, something reached out of the spectacle and took them too. They stepped off the pavement and into the dance, and they did not step back out. By August, the dance had swallowed hundreds. Eyewitnesses described people writhing far past exhaustion, screaming for help, begging bystanders to free them, while their bodies went on dancing as if operated by something else. These were not revelers. Physicians' notes, council minutes, cathedral sermons, the paper trail is real and extensive. Whatever this was, it happened in public, in front of a literate city that wrote it all down. The city council consulted its physicians, who delivered a spectacular misdiagnosis. The afflicted had hot blood, and the cure was to let the dance burn itself out. So Strasbourg organized more dancing. Guild halls were cleared. A wooden stage was built. Professional musicians were hired to keep time. It was like ordering firewood to put out a fire. With every pipe and drum, the plague found new recruits, and the dancing floor became a public display of the disease itself. Then the deaths began. Strokes, heart failures, bodies simply worn through. One chronicle claims that at the plague's height, 15 dancers were dying every day, a figure historians treat with caution, but the deaths themselves are recorded fact. The city finally understood that it was hosting a catastrophe. The music was silenced, the stage torn down, and dancing itself was banned in Strasbourg on pain of fine, except, tellingly, dancing in church. Because by now the city had settled on a culprit, Saint Vitus, whose curse was believed to force sinners to dance. The remaining dancers were loaded onto wagons and taken to the saint's mountain shrine near Savin. There they were given small crosses, red shoes sprinkled with holy water, and a mass, and however you choose to explain it, it worked. Within weeks, the dance gutted out. Most of the survivors simply woke up, exhausted, and went back to their lives. Strasbourg was not unique. It was only the best documented. Chronicles record perhaps 10 outbreaks of compulsive dancing between the 11th and 16th centuries, almost all along the Rhine and Moselle. Hundreds afflicted in 1374 across whole regions, children dancing out of towns, processions jerking and leaping for weeks. Then, after 1518, the phenomenon simply faded from history. Whatever conditions produced it stopped being met. The tidy modern explanation is ergot, a fungus that grows on damp rye, produces LSD-like alkaloids, and can cause convulsions and hallucinations. The problem is that ergot poisoning also strangles blood flow and rips the digestive system apart. Victims seize and burn. They do not perform coordinated dancing for days on end. Most historians who have studied 1518 closely have set the fungus aside. The chemistry is real, it just doesn't fit the choreography. What fits better is grimmer. 1518 found Strasbourg at the end of years of famine, smallpox, and new diseases, in a population soaked in the specific belief that Saint Vitus could curse you to dance. Under extreme stress, in suggestible groups, belief can seize the body. Psychologists call it mass psychogenic illness, and it is thoroughly documented. People danced because, at the deepest level, they believed dancing was what was happening to them. The trance was contagious because the belief was. And that may be the most unsettling ending available. No fungus, no plot, no pathogen, just the human mind, under enough pressure, moving 400 bodies against their will. Mass psychogenic events still occur, they simply wear modern costumes now. The streets where Frau Troffea danced are still there in Strasbourg, unchanged. What visited them in the summer of 1518 has never been named with certainty, and there is no law of nature that says it retired. Subscribe, the vault keeps the cases nobody closed.